While I was at the jail still awaiting my trial, I had a lot of different cellies, people who shared the cell with me. This was due to either people coming and going, whether they were going home, getting transferred to prison, or getting moved to different cell blocks, or I was getting moved to different cell blocks. And this is one of the cellies that sticks out in my mind the most. This big, fat white guy who was a federal informant. And not only was he a federal informant, this guy tried to gain information from me that he could use in his case to help him get a lesser sentence. When they first brought this individual into the cell block and I knew that he was coming into the cell that I had, my cell, I didn't know what to think of this at first. In the cell block that I was housed in, I was the only white guy in this cell block. And one day, through the gate, walks another white guy, an older, fatter white guy. And I knew this guy was coming to be housed in my cell because I had the only empty bunk in my cell in the cell block. He was coming to stay with me. Now, it's a peculiar thing that happens anytime that you get a new cellie. And the reason is because anytime a new person is brought into your cell who is going to be staying with you, when the gates are closed at nighttime, when you are your most vulnerable in jail or prison, when you are asleep, this is who is going to be sharing that same 8x12 cell with you. So it's a really weird introduction period. You don't want to come off too friendly. That is a big no-no because you never know who this individual is. This person could be a sex offender. This person could be a snitch. This person could be somebody who is just hoping to find someone like you, a nice guy, that they could take advantage of for whatever reason. Whether to steal from you, whether to possibly hurt you or rape you. You have to be very cautious when getting a new cellie because you never know who the fuck this guy really is. And at this time that this new cellie was brought into my cell, I was still awaiting trial for the list of drug-related nonviolent offenses that I had and also a gun charge. So if this guy was a snitch, this was nobody I wanted to deal with because he could easily try to gain information from my case and turn around and be one of these jailhouse snitches in the courtroom. That's him right there. See that guy right there with the Nintendo t-shirt on? Yeah, him. He told me all about it. He told me he did it. Damn. You have to be very cautious, bottom line. So throughout this introduction period, this first couple of days, this first week, however long that grace period is, before you can begin to get a sense of who an individual is, it's pretty awkward. And I gotta be completely honest with you. Throughout this entire period, I didn't really like this guy at all. I got a horrible, horrible vibe from this guy, a horrible sense of who this dude really was just talking to him. Because one of the first things I asked him when he came into the cell was, what are you locked up for? Because I need to make sure you're not a sex offender. And I need to also try to do some math inside of my head to figure out logistically what the chances are of you being a snitch. And he told me, he said, it's a crazy situation, Joe. It's a real crazy situation. I'm locked up on a federal case for impersonating a federal officer. Ooh, whoa. Federal case, huh? Well, I do know one thing from all this time that I've spent locked up and being somewhat of what I consider myself a jailhouse lawyer, that most individuals, actually I'm lying, all individuals with federal cases have a very good likelihood of being snitches, informants, rats. So impersonating a federal officer, huh? How the hell did you catch a charge like that? What, were you dressed up like a fucking CIA agent? And I gotta be honest, right here, I can't remember why he said he did this. I'm having a hard time remembering that, but this is what he said he did. How do I do this guy's voice again? Oh yeah. Joe, I saw this accident on the side of the road and I pulled over and I tried to help. And as I pulled over and tried to help, I was taking somebody out of the car and a cop pulled up and asked who I was. And I told him I was Homeland Security. What? Are you Homeland Security? No. Well, why the fuck did you tell them that you were Homeland Security? I don't know, Joe. And for the love of God, I know you can't remember why I told you either. You're right, I can't remember. However, the whole cookie crumbled. I'm liking that saying a little more now. He ended up getting charged with a federal case impersonating a federal officer. Now, while at this jail that I was at, that was notoriously known for jailhouse snitches, rats, and informants, all the same thing by the way, I would see individuals who would leave the cell block multiple times a week to go to lawyer visits And what these really were individuals who were leaving the cell block because the police were there to pick them up, or the feds were there to pick these individuals up and take them back to headquarters, where they would feed these individuals McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and whatever else they wanted, and let them smoke all the cigarettes they possibly could within the few hours that they would sit there, feeding the police or the feds as much information about whatever case it was that they were ready to testify on. And I would see these individuals come back into the cell block, big old smiles on their face, not worried about anything. I just ate some McDonald's. I just smoked 35 cigarettes in 2 hours. And I just buried somebody for the rest of their life because I'm going to testify against them in court. And I know nobody in here is going to do a goddamn thing to me because everybody in here, except for that white guy over there, Joe, is doing the same damn thing. Smile. Your life is over. I'm going to court against you. I would see this every single day. Every day. So I knew who was doing what. Oh, there goes such and such. Oh, there goes that guy too. Well, I know where they're going. But the craziest damn thing about it is within a week or two, my cellie, my big, fat, older white guy cellie, who was impersonating a federal officer, well, I'll be goddamned, he started doing the same thing too. Leaving the cell block multiple times a week, coming back hours later with a big old smile on his face, and then having to come right back into the cell with me. A guy who is still going to court, waiting to go to trial for possession with intent to distribute cocaine and a list of other charges. Great. Who knows what sort of deal he's out there trying to work with the feds. He may be out there right now, for all I know at this point, telling them, hey, look, I've got this cellie and he's facing some time. He's got some drug charges, because of course I did tell him I had drug charges. And what kind of a time cut could I get if I could gain any information from his case? I gotta be honest with you, I wanted to kill this guy. Maybe not literally, but I wanted to beat his fucking ass. Every time I watched him walk out of the cell block, and every time I watched him come back in with that big stupid fucking smile on his face, knowing that he was doing everything in his fucking power to try to get his sentence reduced, did not like this guy. Had absolutely zero fucking respect for any individual like him. That was how I began to piece together, this guy is a federal informant. But you see, it gets a lot better. We're sitting in the cell, day in and day out, forced to be housed in the same confined fucking space around each other. I can't stand this guy. I'm seething with rage that I have to be incarcerated with an individual like this. And day in and day out, all he's doing is complaining, bitching about this, complaining about that. Joe, I just gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I can't take this. I'm not supposed to be locked up. Hey buddy, I'm not supposed to fucking be here either. But you know what? I made some fucking mistakes and I am. And guess what? Your dumbass is too. But hearing him complain about just how badly he had to get out of jail, I began to realize this guy was becoming desperate and was probably willing to do anything in an effort to help get him the fuck out of there. So this one day, I'm in there working out. I've got a sheet wrapped around the bars of the cell, and I'm doing curls with my feet on the bottom of the bars, and I'm just pulling my weight up to the bars, thinking about killing my fucking snitching cellie, pulling my weight up to the bars. Big Jailhouse. And as I'm doing these curls, he comes back into the cell after being out on one of his federal adventures. And no sooner than he gets back into the cell, Joe, I got a situation at home, man. I've got some people who were living in my house with my girl. They were renting a room from us, and he is just fucking laying this story on me. And I'm thinking to myself as he's telling me this story, as I'm doing my curls off of the bars, I'm just thinking to myself, did him and the feds concoct this story? Is this how they're going to think they're going to trick me into giving up some information? It's a pretty good story. Keep on. Keep telling me about this. I can't stand these people who are living in my house, man. I really want to hurt them. Oh, I can see where this is going. Please, continue. Joe, I need you to get me something. What can I get you? I'm in fucking jail. I'm doing curls off of a fucking bar. What? With a sheet. What can I get for you? What do you need me to get for you? Or what do you need my help with? What? Joe, can you get me one of these? And mind you, I still have my back to this guy as he's talking to me, still doing my curls. So he doesn't want to say whatever it is that he needs me to try to help him get. And I turn around and he's just going like this. Let me tell you something, man. I can't do anything for you. I don't know anything about anything. That's it. I now know this guy was ready to use me as the sacrificial lamb to help him get out of jail. What if I had just been like, one of these? What about one of these? Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! Pull over! What about one of those? Would you like one of those? What if we go get you 3 of those? What if all we have to do is go make a phone call? Do you have any money on the phone? Can we make a phone call? From that point on, me and this guy had no conversation whatsoever. And in fact, a big reason for that was because not long after that, they had a shakedown, a major shakedown. They came into the cell, they found so much tattoo paraphernalia. You would have literally thought I had an After Prison Show tattoo shop running out of my cell. I had so much tattoo stuff in there. And they handcuffed me and they took me to isolation, to the hole, where I would serve 60 days in the hole. That was the last time I ever saw that guy, as I was in handcuffs being taken to the hole. And you know what? As I was in handcuffs, I was really fucking happy. I was like, yes, take me to the fucking hole. Take me to the hole. Because I knew at least, even though I would be eating toothpaste to survive, I wouldn't be housed anymore with a federal fucking informant. And as a footnote or a conclusion to this, the last thing that I did hear about this guy was that he got beat so fucking bad inside of that cell block, they had to take him to the hospital. Beat the shit out of him. Absolutely fucking destroyed this guy inside of that cell block. Good for him. Shit like that does happen in jail. And especially happens when you're in jail and you are a fucking rat. Hey, look, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know exactly what you think about it. And until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day.